You ever notice how your life looks more expensive than your bank account feels? Like, you've got the nice phone, the nice car, the nice apartment, the little luxuries that make you feel like you're doing well. And yet, you check your savings account, and it's sitting there like, hey, we need to talk. You're not broke, but you're also not building wealth. And that's the trap. Because some purchases feel rich, they signal success, progress, status. But financially, they quietly keep you stuck. And the worst part? Most of them are completely normalized. Introduction. My name is Felix, and I spend way too much time thinking about how everyday spending decisions quietly shape your long-term financial freedom. If you're someone who buys things that feel rich, but might actually be keeping you broke, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, today we're breaking down 9 purchases that feel wealthy, but actually delay wealth. Not because they're evil, not because you're irresponsible, but because math and psychology don't care about vibes. And once you see the numbers, you can't unsee them. The brand new car. Here's the thing. Nothing feels richer than driving off a dealership lot in a brand new car. That smell. 0 miles. The screen still has plastic on it. But here's what most people don't realize. According to data from Edmunds and Kelley Blue Book, the average new car in the U.S. costs around $48,000, and it depreciates roughly 20% in the first year alone. That's almost $9,600 gone in 12 months. Gone. And depreciation doesn't ask if you enjoyed the car. Now let's compare. You buy a 3-year-old version of that same car for $30,000 instead. You avoid the steepest depreciation curve. You invest the $18,000 difference. At 8% annual returns over 20 years, that's about $84,000. This is where it gets really interesting. The car doesn't just cost you the sticker price. It costs you the future value of what that money could have become. Now, you might be thinking, Felix, life's short. I want a nice car. Totally fair. But wealth isn't about never enjoying things. It's about timing. Drive the used car while you build assets. Then let your investments buy your luxury. Luxury apartments you deserve. You get a raise. Your first instinct? Upgrade the apartment. Because, you worked hard. According to Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies, nearly 50% of renters are rent-burdened, meaning they spend more than 30% of income on housing. Here's the math. Let's say you earn $70,000 a year. After taxes, maybe $52,000 take home. A nice apartment costs $2,500 per month. That's $30,000 per year. Over half your take-home income. Compare that to a $1,800 place. You free up $700 per month. Invested at 8% over 25 years? That's over $650,000. Same city. Different zip code. Massive difference in net worth. Here's what most people don't realize. Luxury housing locks you into higher spending across the board. You eat out more. You buy better furniture. You socialize at higher cost venues. Lifestyle inflation spreads. Wealth doesn't grow in expensive ecosystems. It grows in margin. Constantly upgrading your phone. The average American upgrades their phone every 2 to 3 years. The newest flagship phone? $1,000 to $1,400. Let's say you upgrade every 2 years for 20 years. That's 10 upgrades. At $1,200 each, invest that instead at 8%, around $55,000,60,000. Now, is a phone upgrade destroying your finances? No, but it represents something bigger. Identity spending. We don't buy the phone for the features. We buy it for relevance, for feeling current, for not feeling behind. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. You adapt quickly. The thrill fades. Then the next upgrade feels necessary. Here's the shift. Keep the phone until it's functionally slow, not socially old. Designer brands on a middle-class income. Look, I'm going to say something slightly uncomfortable. If buying designer items makes you feel rich, you're probably not rich yet. High net worth individuals, according to studies from Thomas Stanley's research in The Millionaire Next Door, often spend significantly less on status goods than middle-income earners. Because real wealth hides. Let's say someone spends $5,000 per year on designer clothing and accessories. Over 20 years at 8%, that's over $228,000 in opportunity cost. And here's the psychology. Designer goods are often about signaling. They're social proof purchases. They say, I'm doing well. But investments say, I will be doing well. Big difference. Now, you might be thinking, so I can't buy nice things? That's not the point. The point is, buy luxury from cash flow generated by assets, not from income you're trying to stretch. Dining out as a lifestyle. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average household spends over $3,500 annually on eating out. But in urban areas, it's often double that. Let's say you spend $600 per month dining out. That's $7,200 per year. Invested over 30 years at 8%, about $815,000. Now, this isn't never eat out. It's about frequency. When eating out becomes default instead of intentional, it becomes invisible wealth erosion. This is where it gets really interesting. Convenience spending compounds in reverse. It steals from future freedom. Try this. Cut restaurant spending by 30%. Invest the difference automatically. You won't feel deprived, but your net worth will feel the difference. Extended car loans, 72 to 84 months. Here's one most people don't question. Long car loans. Dealers stretch loans to 72 or even 84 months to make payments affordable. But here's what most people don't realize. You're financing depreciation. Let's say you finance $40,000 at 7% over 84 months. Total paid? Around $51,000. You just paid $11,000 in interest on something that's worth half that by the end. Long loans feel rich because the monthly payment looks small. But small payments over long periods create big costs. Wealthy people don't optimize monthly payments. They optimize total cost. Furniture and electronics on payment plans. 0% financing. Buy now, pay later. Sounds harmless. But behavioral economists show that when payment is delayed, spending increases. You mentally detach from cost. Let's say you finance $10,000 worth of furniture. Even at 0%, you're committing future income. That reduces flexibility. And if you invest $10,000 instead at 8% for 20 years, that's about $46,000. The psychological cost is even bigger. You normalize debt. Wealth loves simplicity. Debt adds noise. Big weddings on credit. The average U.S. wedding costs around $30,000, $35,000. Some go much higher. Now, imagine putting $35,000 into an index fund at 8% for 30 years. That's roughly $352,000. That's early retirement money. Now I know, weddings are emotional. They're about memories. But debt-financed memories are expensive souvenirs. Here's the reframe. Celebrate within margin, not against your future. Lifestyle inflation after every raise. This one is sneaky. You get a raise. Instead of investing it, you upgrade everything. Car, apartment, subscriptions, vacations. This is called lifestyle creep. According to research from the Federal Reserve, many households increase spending nearly proportionally with income growth, which means income rises. Net worth doesn't. Let's say you get a $10,000 raise. After taxes, maybe $7,000. If you invest that yearly at 8% for 25 years, that's over $500,000. $500,000. From one decision. Here's what most people don't realize. Wealth isn't built by earning more. It's built by keeping the gap between earning and spending wide. The psychology behind all of this. All 9 of these purchases share something. They feel rich because they signal arrival. But wealth is built in the quiet. In restraint. In delayed gratification. In boring index funds. The Federal Reserve reports that roughly 40% of Americans struggle to cover a $400 emergency expense. Not because they never earned money, but because lifestyle consumed it. This isn't about shame. It's about awareness. Action plan. What to do instead. Here's what you can implement immediately. The 48-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over $500. Wait 48 hours. The 10x test. If you can't buy it 10 times in cash, you probably shouldn't buy it once. Automatic investing. Set up automatic transfers the day after payday. Delay lifestyle upgrades 1 year. Get a raise. Keep your lifestyle the same for 12 months. Calculate opportunity cost before buying. Ask, what is this worth in 20 years invested? When you start thinking in future value instead of sticker price, everything changes. Closing motivation. Look, none of this is about never enjoying your money. It's about building the kind of wealth where you don't need purchases to feel successful. Real wealth is optionality. It's freedom. It's waking up without financial anxiety. It's knowing your investments are working harder than you are. And the truth? Most people will keep buying things that feel rich. Very few will quietly build assets. Decide which group you want to be in. Because the math is simple. But the discipline? That's rare. If this helped you rethink your spending even a little, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments which one of these surprised you most. And remember, feeling rich is easy. Becoming rich? That takes intention. I'll see you in the next one.